and it's just not a fun time. Hey, I'm Kristen, and think of me as your average consumer. I'm not perfect. I still buy things in plastic because there are so many good vegan options on the market that come in plastic, and I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. So let's talk about something we all don't enjoy, or at least I think no one enjoys, and that is a period. Let's talk about how to reduce our waste when we are having our period. Now, let's be honest, it's not fun whatsoever, but I am trying to make it more eco-friendly, more zero waste, because disposable period products are so wasteful. In my last video, if you guys haven't seen it, I'll link it up in the cards. I review a new period underwear brand called Livia. If you guys are interested, you can watch it. And I do say that 20 billion period products in 1 year end up in the landfills just in the United States of America, which is crazy because you know there are so many more period products going to the landfill each year. Conventional period products, conventional brands use a lot of crap in their products. They are not required to tell you what is in their products. Yada, yada, yada. It's just not great. In the long run, if you're buying reusable, zero waste products, you're gonna be saving money, you're gonna be helping the planet. And if you're used to buying conventional tampons and pads with plastic and a ton of crap in them, you're gonna be helping your health. You don't want stuff in your body that is not safe for you. And if the company doesn't wanna disclose something to you, that's a little shady in my opinion. I'm gonna talk about my favorite things to get me through my period. Yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing I use, my period underwear. I think they're great, especially on my first, second day when I feel awful. I am bloated and in pain, and it's just not a fun time. I do just think it's easy to just throw on some period underwear and you're golden, you're set. Now I do have to say I don't have a heavy period. I never really have a heavy period. I'd say my first 2 days are my heaviest days, but they're by no means heavy. If you have a heavier period, you might need to supplement the period underwear with another option as well. So just throwing that out there. I do use Thinx underwear and then my Livia, which it'll be up here and down in the description with my last review of that new brand. And what I like about the period underwear is they're not thick like a pad. Like I remember being young and just starting my period and pads were so thick and it felt like wearing a diaper. Whereas like the underwear is really thin, it feels like underwear. It's just the material is just a little thicker. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything special besides the fact that it's like designated period underwear, but I also haven't tried reusable pads. So just gotta throw that out there. But yeah, I love them. I think they do the job and they're really just comfortable and easy. First off, by just putting them in a little sink, rinsing them out, and then I use my little like stain remover soap stick, which is like a zero waste stain remover. And it's pretty much just soap. And so I use that like in that area, I rinse that again, and then I pop it in my washing machine and wash them, and they are good to go. And you always wanna let them hang dry. You don't wanna use fabric softeners or anything. That's how I wash the period underwear. Very easy, nothing crazy. And the second thing I use is a menstrual cup. So I think if you're used to using tampons, then the menstrual cup is gonna be kind of an easy way to go. It's not for everyone, I totally understand that, and I think it's nicer than a tampon because you can leave it in for 12 hours, which is amazing. So I'll put it in the beginning of the day and I take it out at night. It's great if you have a long day at work because you don't have to worry about it at all. I do have a video all about it if you guys are interested, so I'll link that up in the cards. It's an older video, but it gives you the right information. And I do use the Lena Cup and I love it. It's a super sustainable brand. They're based out of California. They're cruelty-free. Make sure your menstrual cups are cruelty-free because I know some brands are not. I've heard some brands are not. I've always checked. I've only tried the Lena Cup and I really like it. There are a million different styles of menstrual cups because everybody is different and everyone's a different size and everyone wants a different firmness or softness or anything like that. So if you guys are interested in figuring out what is the best type of cup for you, I know this blog, I think it's a blog or a website called Put a Cup in It. I'll link it down below, but it is great and it really helps you figure out like which cup fits kind of which size and what's best for you. They have a quiz on their website to figure out what works. Yeah, I just really like the cup. I think it's amazing. It does the job. Just like on my first day when I'm feeling those cramps and like when I'm just feeling awful, I don't like using the cup, and that's why I use my period underwear and it does the job just fine. And if you guys are wondering how I clean my menstrual cup, so I do use Dr. Bronner's every time I dump it before I put it back in. I use Dr. Bronner's to clean it out. And also before I use it for the first time, I will boil it. And I do have a dedicated pot just to boil the menstrual cup. It's a little mini pot to put on my stovetop and use for the menstrual cup. So there is that. So I boil it for about 10 minutes and I let it cool down and then I'm good to go. And then I can use it. You just wanna make sure that there's no bacteria or any other germs on it before you use it, obviously. It's super easy, super simple. You don't have to buy Dr. Bronner's, but I do recommend using a more natural soap. I think Castile soaps are the way to go. So if you can find like an unscented Castile soap, very natural, basic soap, I would recommend using something like that to clean it, just because you don't want anything scented or you just don't want any craziness, you know? So the third thing I use, I've been trying it, so I'm not gonna say I hardcore recommend this, but it is the Livia, which is basically like a TENS machine. It has these flower pads that you put on yourself, and it's basically giving you like a little electric pulses, so it kind of distracts your brain from the pain, and it's supposed to help with cramps. Now I had a really horrible period the other month, and I tried it then and it did not work during that day when I had like awful cramps. I'm still trying to test it out when I'm having just like normal average cramps to see if it helps. But I know with some people it works and some people it doesn't work. So there is that option, and I use Advil, which is not zero waste. But you know what? I'm being honest in my videos, and I use Advil when I'm having cramps because you know what? It freaking sucks to have that much pain all the time, and sometimes you gotta buy stuff in plastic, you know? I'm not perfect, and that's just reality. People are like, why aren't you completely plastic free? Like, you need to do that for the earth. That's dumb to not actually help the earth. We can do so much more to help, blah, blah, blah. I get it. We can all do a lot to help the earth, but you also need to put your health before the earth. If we don't have our health, we have nothing, you know? Whew, that's what I use on my period. Sometimes I also use a heating pad. Now there are also reusable pads. I have never used reusable pads. So if you guys have good brands or companies, please let me know down below what you use and what is the best reusable pad. I've never tried them because I like what I use. I like the cup, I like the underwear, and yeah, that's what I use. So if you guys do have suggestions, let me know. If you are new here and you're interested in more eco-friendly content, I'll have a playlist with all of my eco-friendly videos here, and I'll have my last Livia review of the period underwear up here. And if you do want to look at my Patreon and support me there, I will have that here, patreon.com/strollthroughlife. And I have my Instagram and my Twitter. And just remember, you do not have to be perfect to live more sustainably. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!